Good afternoon.
Hello. Thank you guys for tuning in to a very special episode of NCVC. Collin's birthday today. Yeah.
Many.
Yeah, well, actually, dude, don't pretend you know numbers. No, but yeah, he turned 24 today. So, just feel free to put in the comments section a big happy birthday or go fuck yourself, whatever works.
Yeah, I prefer go fuck yourself. It's more sentimental, honestly. If you tell me happy birthday, we'd be like, oh, this fucker's kissing up to me.
Mm-hmm. And also, there's a lot more benefit to, fucking yourself. But we're not going to get into that today. We're going to be talking about weird and wacky laws and where we think they came from and why they were created.
Yeah, so, it's
called What the Fuck Friday today. We were going to do Faction Friday. If you tuned into the last podcast and you heard us talk about it, we lied.
Yeah, but for those of you who have been around, you realize that, A, we change our mind, and B, we come up with our topic like 10 seconds before I hit the record button. So if you're still here, then you like it that way, and good for you.
You enjoy the spontaneousness of it.
Yeah. So just to kind of give credit on this website, it's thedailymeal.com. Whatever. I just literally clicked on like the first thing that popped up. So if you like this website, cool. If you don't, I don't give a fuck. I just clicked on it. So we're gonna go alphabetical order. So I'm just gonna kind of whatever law it has on here, we'll just kind of be like, okay, why, and then figure out what their mindset's at. So all right, starting down in Alabama.
Good. The cousin fucker central.
Yeah.
For any Alabama fans, all 1.5 of you.
So we'll be giving a low-key shout-out to every state. So if you listen to this and you're from one of these states, and maybe you can comment in the comment section and be like, oh, yeah, my second uncle, great cousin's aunt passed this law. I don't know why. But
yeah, just feel free to shout out to us. Let us know what that law actually was put in place for if you know the answer. Because we're not going to give you the right answer. We're going to give you our interpretation of why that law came to be.
For sure.
So,
for sure, dude. All right.
That's some char, dude.
So, getting started with Alabama. Confetti is illegal. In the underrated city of Mobile, Alabama, it is illegal to possess, make, sell, or give away, or throw any non-biodegradable plastic-based confetti. It's in the law section of littering. The law was updated in 2018. Basically, it's aimed towards Mardi Gras celebrations. Yeah. So
let's get into the why. Why is confetti not allowed during that celebration? Let me hear your guess first, and I'll give you my interpretation.
The way I see it is somebody got too mad with fucking like sewers or something backing up with confetti, or like the cleanup process or something. I don't know, because it says something about Mardi Gras. So I'm like, okay, obviously somebody had a celebration that got a little too out of hand, and they're like, fuck confetti, we're not going to have confetti anymore.
So what I'm kind of thinking is because it's Alabama, there's a lot of ingenuity there, but like redneck ingenuity. I'm thinking someone rigged some crazy lawnmower confetti gun, and they ended up killing their sister wife with it. So they realized the dangers of confetti, and they outlawed it.
Huh.
That's my best guess.
Yeah, I guess you went the more extreme way, which... maybe I'll try to be more PG-13, and you could just go straight for the fucking rated R interpretation. All right, so that one's kind of, I mean, it's whatever. We're getting started, but
yeah, and to get into a realistic point about it, the reason confetti's probably is because like you mentioned the drainage backup, and also probably along the lines of like just cleanup after. It costs a lot for the city. So.
That's more the reasonable way to think about it, but I like the accidentally confetti gun killed fucking sister cousin. All right, so moving on to Alaska. This one kind of I guess it kind of makes sense. It doesn't really surprise me. I read it, I'm like, okay, that sounds like Alaska. In Alaska, there are no moose allowed on sidewalks. In 1913, mayor of Fairbanks, Alaska, had enough of the antics of a bartender and his pet moose.
That one explains itself. So
he apparently this bartender refused to stop bringing his moose to work at a local saloon. To prevent the animal from coming inside, they declared that the moose weren't allowed on city sidewalks, effectively prohibiting moose from walking on sidewalks and into the bar or other businesses.
Okay, so you know what would have been really cheeky about this though, is if you got like a loophole, like if you cut a chunk out or the side walk, or if he just laid a blanket over it, because technically he's not standing on the sidewalk now, he's laying on a blanket, or if he, you know what I mean, or created a little platform off the sidewalk to where, and then raised up to the bar just a little bit, the moose could walk right over the sidewalk
Yeah,
and just have the side. You know what I mean?
the way that I'm trying to think about this though too is like it says no moose allowed on sidewalk. So you're targeting a fucking species that doesn't think for itself.
Yeah.
So what if a fucking like 1,800-pound moose? I could be under exaggerating. Those things could be heavier than that. I know they're tall. I when I was up
They're
in
massive, dude.
just north of here, about an hour and a half north of where I live, there's a decent amount of moose, and I've seen a few here and there. Those fucking things are tall. Like I'm 6 feet tall, and my face would be like in its chest, and then there's like another 2 or 3 feet of fucking animal. So like what like I'm just trying to picture this mayor going out there with like a leash and trying to like pull these mooses
No, so
off the sidewalk.
the Mises, what I'm picturing is I can just imagine being the first cop having to arrest a moose for going on the sidewalk. Like, you imagine, like, they just write it a ticket and they just, like, tape it to the side of it. Like, all right, that's your first warning, and then it doesn't move. It's like, oh, you bitch. And they start scribbling out, like, it just slaps a second one on it. And he's like, all right, you got 5 minutes to vacate the sidewalk, otherwise we're going to open fire. And it's just staring at him like, just, he's like, all right, you can give me no choice. And then the moose just kicks him halfway across the town.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, I feel like a lot of these laws are going to be ones that were well, I shouldn't say that. The confetti one was 2018, but the moose one was 1913. So,
Oh yeah, they definitely. There's a lot more corrupt government structure. Then they could just target people if they wanted.
Oh yeah,
fuck you and your moose.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so moving on here, we're going into Arizona. This one's kind of weird. I don't know how they can do this, but no spitting. Spitting is a rude behavior considered a public nuisance throughout the state of Arizona. But in the city of Goodyear, it is illegal to spit on a public sidewalk, crosswalk, or highway on public ground, park, or buildings. The crime is a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine of up to $2,500 or 6 months in prison.
I just want to know who was spitting so bad in Goodyear, Arizona, that they were like, no, I can't handle it anymore. Like, were they just dropping fat loogies all over the? Because, like, I spit almost all. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of them guys. I just spit if I gotta spit, and I'm outside. I don't mind. Like, as long as I'm not spitting on someone's property. It's like the sidewalk. It's gonna like disappear in like 2 minutes. It's not like you're like bent over licking the sidewalk. You walk on it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how this can be a thing because like people spit. So like you said, some people it's a habit to spit. If your mouth fills with saliva, instead of swallowing it, you spit it on the ground. Or if you're I was just about to say, what if you dip? I don't know. Apparently, people in Goodyear, Arizona have good health because none of them dip.
I mean, you can use spitters, but like when you're outside, you don't want to bother with that. It gets messy and gross, and just carrying around a bottle is pointless. It's just like.
Yeah.
No, I mean Arizona's a very clean state, though. They are like being there. It's kind of it makes sense to me. They're very, like I said, clean and like everything looks good. It has to look good. I'm not so much in Tucson, but definitely in Phoenix area, Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very pretty there. But
I'm
a good year.
On some of these, especially this one, I'm almost gonna after the episode's done, I'm almost gonna have to do some research and see if there's actually been like arrests or fines dished out, or if like people are just like secretive about it. They're like, oh, nobody's looking, just like quick.
Or like imagine there's like death row. I don't think there's death row in Arizona, but like, cause imagine if there was though. Two guys are sitting there and one's like, "So what did you do?" He's like, "Well, I murdered a whole family. What about you?" I spit on a sidewalk 5 times. And he's just like, oh shit, dude, stay the fuck away from me, you psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, no. Oh, man, imagine that, getting a death row just because you're a serial spitter.
It sounds like one of those characters for
the serial spitter, like you spit on babies and shit.
Yeah,
like, it's like walking by the.
It's like bile, like your spit's like bile and it like melts people.
Yeah, but it also like if it builds up, it starts to burn your mouth. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, next law.
All right, moving on. This one's kind of funny, and I could see people from this state being super butthurt about it, and it's kind of funny. And if you are from this state, please comment and let me know how you feel. So it's Arkansas, and it says, yes, it says, say it right. There's a legal code in Arkansas that explains how the state name should be pronounced. While it's not technically illegal or punishable to say it wrong with a hard S at the end of the state's name, Arkansas is legally supposed to be pronounced Arkansas.
You're going to jail for what? I can't say it because I'm going to jail with you too. No, I just said Arkansas. What are you talking about? That right there. This
kind of reminds me of a video. I can't remember if it was like somebody who was a immigrant, but it was like of Asian descent. It was like a lady. She's like learning like the English language, and she's like, yeah, there's Kansas, but then this is not Arkansas. This is Arkansas. What do you mean?
So this is Kansas. This is Arkansas. Then whose Kansas is that?
Yeah.
No, but like, dude, that'd be so like. I wonder what the punishment. Like, I feel like they'd like no one ever enforces that, obviously. But it'd be real funny though. You just see like a guy getting thrown into the side of a cop car, and you're like, holy shit, what's going on? He said Arkansas.
He said the S. He said the S.
Like, oh, this motherfucker right here just said he pooped in his ass. Like, just didn't take off running. You said the hard S. You're going down.
It's actually kind of funny that like, because
what if you have a speech impediment?
I don't know.
Or you just have speech pattern issues and you can't say Arkansas.
Learn sign language, I guess.
Yeah. Well, then if you could say it with the hard S, what, Arkansas? No. Arkansas.
It sounds like a condiment at like a restaurant.
Yeah. Arkansas.
Like you go through a drive-thru at McDonald's in Arkansas, and they're like, "Would you like a side of Arkansas?" So you're like, "Sure."
What's it taste like? Not good. Yeah, okay. Very bland.
It's actually kind of funny with this too. Is just south of me, probably about a half hour south. There's an Arkansas, Wisconsin, but it's spelled with a W at the end. So it's like that makes sense to pronounce it Arkansas because there's no S at the end of it. So like, I don't know. Whatever. All right, Arkansas, you got your 2 minutes of fame. We're moving on. Okay, this is interesting. We're moving on to the big state of California. There's a state law of no nuclear bombs.
I feel like that's like a law. That should be like a common state law, like everywhere.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah. It says the city of Chico, California, wasn't taking any chances. It enacted an official prohibition on the production, testing, maintenance, and storage of nuclear weapons. Laws passed with the possibility of nuclear war was a clear and present danger. I mean, this one is pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if I really call this a weird state law, but it's more or less just I don't know, are cracking down on it more, which I guess makes sense because I was about to say Wisconsin. California is a very populous state, so maybe that's kind of the intention behind it. It doesn't say like what year or like who. I mean, it just says the city of Chico, California, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's really weird because that just should be like that should just go without saying. Like, I'm sure in any other state, if you're like, yeah, I have a nuclear bomb, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's great, you're getting arrested. You know, it's not like everyone. Yeah. Like, it's not like they're gonna be like, oh damn, that's not in our law base. Like shit.
Yeah, like if I get caught on the sidewalk, like carrying a nuclear bomb, and a cop approaches me, it's like, "What's that?" And it's like, "Oh, you're under arrest. You have a nuclear bomb." I'm like, "No, this is in California. You can't do that."
Yeah, right. We're not in Cali, bro. I don't see the beach. Bombs are allowed. No, and that's the thing. It's like this just sounds like a really Cali thing to do. They really want to emphasize the fact like that, and that's just not going to keep. Like, if someone wants to make a bomb, obviously it takes a lot to make a nuclear bomb. It's not like you can just make one in your garage. You can make other kind of bombs in your garage, but I'm not going to encourage anyone to do that. Don't do it. But you can't make a nuke in your garage. I'd hope not. The same fucking Fallout where mini nukes are just abundant. Maybe that's what Cali's getting ready for, because that is technically where Fallout started. They're just preparing. Yeah. No mini nukes allowed here. We're not creating Fallout.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's about it for that one. It's not really a wacky one. Speaking of whack, what the fuck?
Oh, what?
All right, state of Colorado, whack your weeds. Whack your fucking weeds. In the city of Pueblo, Colorado, it's illegal for a landowner to not cut, destroy, or remove weeds 10 inches or taller, including sunflowers and dandelions. If they don't do so within 10 days of being notified, the city will do it for them, then send them a bill.
I wonder how enforced these laws are, honestly. Because I wonder if there's like a dude who just walks around with a tape measure. He's like, "Oh, that's looking pretty sus to me."
Yeah,
looking at 9.5 right now, bud. Better be careful. I wonder how seriously monitored some of these laws are. Because I feel like, let's be fair though. That's like excessive growth, anyways. It's at over 10 inches, right?
Yeah, that's getting pretty tall.
Yeah, over 10 inches. Dude, that place has got to be abandoned at that. If you're going to let your shit grow over 10 inches.
I feel like that's pretty common, though, in a lot of places where if you don't cut your grass, where I live right now, we rent a house and our landlord takes care of cutting our grass. So, it's not something we have to take care of. But I'm sure if you let it get too tall I'm sure there's city ordinances wherever you go, and they're all relatively the same on if the grass gets so tall, either cut it or somebody's going to cut it for you, and then you're going to get a bill for it. So
yeah, that's just kind of common practice. That's I know that it was in North Carolina. It was kind of like that in some places. So yeah, that's more of just a common thing all around. So we've established no weed or weeds that are too long in Colorado. Weed is definitely allowed in Colorado.
Yeah,
and no nukes in California. So
all right, this so far this is going to be the weirdest one. State of Connecticut, pickles should bounce. There are plenty of wacky things that are banned in the U.S., but folks in Connecticut are persnickety about their pickles. According to one, that's what it says. According to one of Connecticut's former food and drug commissioners, one of the tests used to determine whether or not a pickle was legally fit for human consumption was that if you drop it 1 foot, it should bounce.
So you're telling me, what if to someone who's just selling pickles? I doubt there's pickle stands, but what if I just go up to them and wait, hold up, and they just throw my fucking food on the ground in front of me, and it just bounces up and they catch it. They're like, here you go. They're like, what the fuck is that? No, you just threw it on the ground. I wonder how that law started. No, that's a good one. Let's try to rationalize this. How did the pickles have to start bouncing?
I'm sure it says it was developed by a former food and drug commissioner. So maybe it's just a test. You know how testing a product, it has to be a certain length, a certain weight, whatever that might be. I feel like you'd almost, I don't know.
I feel like the pickle would break. Bounce. It depends on the surface you're bouncing it off of. And I guess it's just what kind of pickle are we talking about here? The full long bore, fucking,
What kind of fucking pickles are you eating?
Genetically modified for my pleasure. Pickles, yeah.
Holy fuck!
You see me go in my fridge, I pull out a giant dill pickle, the chip pickles, and it's just massive like that. I just sit here and eat it. It's what?
You pull out a jar, and it's got a singular pickle in it because that's all it can fit.
You can get pickles in a bag though that are this big. You can
Oh
do
yeah,
like
I've
the
seen
saggy,
that.
girthy ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girth. No.
Fucking that's funny that you say that, Chris in Mr. Brady's class in high school. He used to sell those like pickles in like a pouch or whatever for like $1, and Chris would always get one, and he would suck like he'd suck all the shit out of the pickle, so that when he was done with it, it was literally just the outside skin, and it was just fucking this flaccid looking fucking gross thing. Which by the like for me, big pickles, gross. I don't like them.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I like the little like the petite little cruncher motherfuckers, and usually they're a little bit more. But guess what? It's the crisp. I don't like biting into a pickle and it's like mushy. Like if I could bite into a pickle and a banana and I can't tell the difference in consistency, then it's not a fucking pickle.
So now I'm thinking about because I like dill chipple. I love dill chipple. I love that dill chipple pickle. No, no, like the dill pickle chips. You know, the ones you put on burgers, stuff like that.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, like so. I like that, and I also like the relish. I like relish. But yeah, no, I don't like usually bigger pickles. It has to go. It has to like enhance something. I don't eat like pickles by themselves. But now I'm picturing like I wonder how relish is made. They just have like a blender set up, and it's like a competition because like their pickles obviously got to bounce, and it's like playing cornhole but with pickles. So like they just sit there and they bounce them into the blender, and that's how they make their relish.
Yeah, well, it's kind of you think about it with relish. It's like it's like chunky consistency. Like you wonder how they make it because obviously if you just mash it, it's just gonna be like a pickly paste. But relish isn't really a paste.
It's diced. It's kind of like diced.
It's like diced pickles.
Yeah, diced.
I don't know.
Well, now we know pickles cannot be non-bouncy. And what state are we on?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay.
Connecticut. All right, this next one is just sad, but like, fuck this state for having this. Delaware, no Halloween on Sundays. Many Delaware cities set strict Halloween trick-or-treating hours, but the charming coastal town of Rebothrow Beach forbids any tricks or treats if Halloween happens to fall on a Sunday. According to a city ordinance, if October 31st falls on a Sunday, kids must go door to door on Saturday night, the evening of October 30th.
Is it because they don't want to mix spooky day, like Spooktober moment, with God, or it sounds like a very conservative law? If I was going to guess,
yeah,
that's weird because it's on a beach city, right? That's what it said.
Yeah, it says beach. Well, I mean, Delaware is pretty small, and I'm sure like over half of the state has ocean coastline. So
yeah, so I mean, thinking about that, and also I know nothing about geography, so if anyone wants to make fun of us in the comment section, go right ahead, because I'll probably say Connecticut is next to Delaware or something like that. I don't even know if they are. I don't.
They're close. It's like Connecticut's right like above Delaware. Like just
okay. Yeah, you're like a natural like you're really good with geography.
Yeah, I love geography. Yeah, I think I want to say like the tip of New York or maybe even New Jersey would be in between, but yeah, they're pretty close to each other.
The worst part is I lived on the East Coast, but
yeah,
like, I should know that. Yeah, I should know that whole area. But anyways, yeah, no, that's kind of dumb. But I also kind of like. I wonder if I'm trying to think of what it has to do with, because if it's not a religious conservative law, like is it just because
superstition? Maybe I don't know.
Well, what I'm thinking is maybe it's just because if it falls on a Sunday, they're thinking about work traffic potentially the next day and like having people be out late. I don't know. That's a weird one. But I'm going to give you my irrational answer. I'm assuming that someone burned down a Sunday school on Halloween for their trick.
I like when you say, I'm going to give you my rational answer.
My irrational answer. Denver hates children. Next.
All right, we're going to Florida next.
Oh, here we go.
Just reading the headline, it's not very like, okay, that Florida? Sounds like Florida. It says, no faults for bad dog. According to Florida state statute, with a few caveats, C-A-V-E-A-T-S. Caveats? Oh, what the fuck that means. Yeah.
Doesn't it mean like loophole? Like so it just kind of means like
I don't fucking know.
Let me look it up real quick. We're learning.
Yes. You think I would know this because having my insurance
Oh,
license, like I have to know statutes and like laws and
so
bylaws and stuff. But
yeah, so I was kind of right. So a wording of or proviso specific stipulations, conditions, or limitations. So it's kind of like under certain conditions.
okay.
Otherwise, yeah,
So it's a law that applies in XYZ
yeah.
conditions. Okay. So a dog's owner isn't liable for damages caused by their pet if at the time any injury the owner has displayed in a prominent place on his or her premises a sign easily readable including the words "pet dog." So in the sunshine state, it is best to not ignore any beware of dog signs. So basically, in the state of Florida, if you have like a beware of dog or like dog on sight sign, and then that dog attacks you, you can't sue them.
I feel like that should be everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
because like you have a warning sign up, especially if it's clearly visible and it's showing that like if you trespass, you will get your ass bit by a dog. Like,
yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of reminds me of when Blaine's younger brother got bit by Lake's dog, and they had to get rid of it.
Oh.
Tucker. Um, Champagne's dad actually has it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they either had to put it down, like give it to the Humane Society, or just they had to find a new home because they were like pressing
So
charge.
just remote it like down the block.
Yeah, well, they live out in the country, so maybe it had
Yeah,
to
I
be
know.
within a certain mile radius where that dog couldn't be near that family or something. But
That's so bullshit. I can't. that pisses me off. Like,
well,
especially like.
what happened was too is that like the kid like I mean obviously like I'm not gonna say the kid knew what he was doing and just like was being dumb, but the dog was like laying down, and from my understanding, like could like confirm the story. But as far as my recollection is, the kid like jumped on the back of the dog and like grabbed its ears or something, or like hugged around its neck or something. It was just like a sudden like boom, like it like jumped on its
Yeah.
back. So like the dog just was like spazzed out because it felt attacked. I don't know.
Shit, you jump on my back and wrap your arms around my neck without any warning. I'm biting your ass too. I'm just going.
Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, yeah, this is. I was kind of upset when I scrolled down and saw Florida. I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like, for all the Florida man, Florida woman
I feel like
sexually
there's a
abusing
wackier law.
alligators.
Yeah, I feel like there's wackier laws than this list. I'll be
Oh
entirely
yeah.
honest with you.
Well, there's other links. I just clicked on the first one. I'm sure that every link has different states. Maybe there might be some repeats, but um, anyway, you let us down, Florida. So fuck you for that.
But you still keep us excited every time we see your news reports.
Yeah.
So you keep doing that.
All right, moving on to Georgia. Just says no masks. In Dublin, Georgia, it is unlawful for anyone to wear a mask, hood, or any item to conceal their face or identity in public places.
I wonder how COVID's going right now.
The only exception to this rule is children 16 years old or under on Halloween. So basically, Halloween is the only time that you can get away with wearing a mask.
I wonder how COVID's going for them right now.
Yeah, in this city, I wonder if like people are fight it, like if that's an actual law, like.
Yeah, like they can actually make the justified argument. Like that's illegal here. We can't wear a mask, so I'm not gonna wear one.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I guess in a sense, it's just like it just takes out the infamiliarity where you see people's faces. That way, if
well, I guess that's kind of a common law when this virus wasn't happening either. Like you walk into a place with a full mask on, people are going to be suspicious of you. I don't know if it's necessarily illegal, but if you have a full mask in a public area, people usually have, there's an intent there unless it's winter.
Yeah. Well, but it's Georgia. What does it get down like the 40s, 50s in the winter?
Well, that's what I'm talking about other states. Like that,
I know what you mean. That's what I'm saying though. In Georgia, you wouldn't be able to get away with that. Like, while you're wearing a mask, it's like, it's cold out. It's like, bruh, it's fucking like 90 degrees out.
I feel like Georgia, it doesn't get cold, but it can get kind of cold.
Yeah.
But not enough to where I need to wear a full face mask.
Oh. All right. Kind of moving off. off of that one. All right, this is kind of interesting. In Hawaii, no billboards. Hawaii has a handful of strange laws, some of which are meant to protect the spectacular views of its natural landscapes. For example, it is illegal to erect, maintain, or use a billboard or display any outdoor advertising device. So I guess that kind of makes that one kind
Yeah,
of makes sense of well, because a lot of Hawaii is kind of uh, it's not Native American land, but it's like tribe
well,
land,
so
like
well, because they had royalty there for the longest. I'm pretty sure, like way back. Like I think that was their structure was a royal. I can't remember. I have to look at the history of Hawaii again. But no, yeah, they want to preserve that. They're a tourist state. That's like
yeah,
that's like where all their money circulates in. That's what brings most of their income in is tourists.
yeah,
They want to maintain those beautiful views. They don't want to obstruct that because the amount of money they would lose on the obstruction compared to the advertising is just not enough.
yeah. I guess yeah. So that one does that. That kind of makes sense. There's only so much land area, and I'm sure that they either want to have it be housing, commercial, or just natural landscape. So
I would like to believe this one actually came to be because Dog the Bounty Hunter, they put up his face on a billboard and everyone in Hawaii is like, no. Just fucking that blonde mullet and him and his leather just like I was like, take that shit down. I don't want to see that goddamn mullet anymore.
that's what we're going with. It's Dog the Bounty Hunter's fault.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. We're going on to Idaho. All right.
Idaho.
In Idaho, always smile. The city of Pocatello, Idaho has embraced its identity as the U.S. Smile Capital after the mayor passed an ordinance in 1948 making it illegal to not smile. The Smile Ordinance was passed to jokingly boost morale after exceptionally severe winter weather. The law unintentionally remained on the books until it was rediscovered and became a source of pride for Pocatello.
Have you ever played the game We Happy Few?
No, I haven't.
So it's like this dystopian game, and like they take these pills. Essentially, it's to make them happy, and kind of like it's like brainwashing essentially. And if you don't take your pills, you get taken away. That's what I'm kind of picturing. That's really what's going on in Pocatello. That they like they're all drugged up there and always happy, but if you don't take your pills, all of a sudden it's like a massive manhunt for you. And they just like take you away to like some Guantanamo Bay looking place. They just torture your ass and just try to force feed you pills. Just be like, you will be happy.
Well, plus it's Idaho. There's not a whole lot going on in Idaho. I mean, they got potatoes.
Yep, they got Pocatello potatoes. Idaho. Like everything ends with O there, I guess.
Yeah, what the fuck? Conspiracy, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that sound was, but that's my conspiracy sound.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny how the mayor passed it jokingly to boost morale, but then he forgot about it, and then years later, somebody's like, this is still a law." But like, there's no fine amount, there's no like prison sentence. So I mean, I feel like it's more or less just a conversation piece now.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what he was. It's like a source of pride for them. Like, yeah, we're all happy here. Then realistically, it's Idaho. No one's happy there. That's why they made it a law to make people happy because no one's actually happy in Idaho.
All right, Idaho, you got all your O's. We're moving on. We're moving on to Illinois, or as my dad would say, Illinois. In Illinois, no fancy bike riding. The city of Galesburg, Illinois likes things nice and simple, even its bike riding. The city has an ordinance banning bike riders from removing both hands from the handlebars or feet from the pedals or engaging in, quote-unquote, any acrobatic or fancy riding on any street.
I'm trying to picture what went horribly wrong with one of these people. Is like, hey, look, no hands, mom, and then just get slammed by a semi or something.
Yeah, obviously something bad happened where like a kid fucking died or got severely hurt, or multiple kids, or even adults. Who knows?
Or a whole train of cycle riders were just going at it, doing cool tricks, and all of a sudden one car just came and wiped them all out.
Yeah.
That was that was the bloodiest day in Illinois. What town was that too in Illinois?
Galesburg, I don't know, I've never heard of it.
Galesburg. All these are such obscure little
Yeah, they're
places I've
probably
never
out in the
heard of.
middle of nowhere where they got nothing else to do, so they just like, let's make a weird law today, and then the other 7 people that live there are like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. Who here can ride a bicycle? None of us. Okay, no one can do any fancy stuff on bicycles. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Oh, this is insulting. Well, I should wait and read it, but Indiana, no cold beer. Indiana has some peculiar laws. Among them is a confusing statute that says grocery, convenience, and drugstores can't sell cold beer for carryout. However, if the beverage is not cooled or on ice, it can be sold legally. Businesses have been fighting for more than a decade to get the law repealed.
That is very weird. That's such a weird law because, like, I mean, if you walk into any gas station or any like place that sells beer, there's clearly big stacks of beer that aren't refrigerated anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like a big deal to not be refrigerated. But what would be the issue with it being refrigerated?
I don't know. But you think about every you think about every gas station. I mean, fuck, living in Wisconsin, you go into every Quick Trip or almost every gas station. There's literally a beer cave where you literally
we had a whole damn beer.
It's a walk-in cooler. Yeah.
Yeah. You just walk in there and it's like heaven. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that's kind of weird though. I don't know.
Indiana.
Well, Indiana has some like fuck. I can't think of it. I feel like there's another weird law I've heard of in Indiana. Well, I mean, even you think about fucking Gary, Indiana has like one of the worst crime rates in the U.S. So like,
oh yeah.
Obviously that's completely unrelated, but I guess just fuck Indiana.
You know why it has one of the worst crime rates in the world, right? Or in the U.S. Because they can't have cold beer.
Yeah. See, fucking
cold beer saves lives.
Governor of Indiana, whoever the fuck you are, listen to our podcast and get your shit together.
Yeah, come on, we'll argue for their right to have some nice cold beverage. You can't. What happens to cracking a cold one with the boys? You can't crack a room temperature one in India. Like, no, you crack a cold one.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go crack a lukewarm one, boys.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
All right. This next one, I haven't read the paragraph for it yet, but I'm just kind of figuring out how this is even possible. All right, brace yourself. We're going to Iowa.
Oh, boy.
In Iowa, there is no drunk surfing. In Iowa, a landlocked steak.
And a landlocked steak, medium rare.
A landlocked state, drunk surfing or water skiing is prohibited. According to the state's code, it's illegal for a person to operate or manipulate any water ski, surfboard, or similar device while under the influence of an alcoholic beverage or other drugs. Though Iowa isn't really a surfing destination, it does have many famous, beautiful lakes.
I mean, isn't that just like a law period? No operating anything? I mean...
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing, like...
Well, I guess you're not operating a vehicle, but still, like... I mean, I've gone out in the water drunk, but I haven't gone any further than, like, the shallow part. Like, I'm not gonna, like... Okay, I did go one time when we were camping. When we were 16.
But for what?
Shoot pond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I got really drunk and I believe it's your uncle said I'm one of the loudest peakers he's ever heard.
Yeah.
And I was like chasing you around and I kept falling over and I just kept getting back up into there. Like, wow, you get up really fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, we got to tell that story. There's a lot of good moments from that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I just try, there's obviously no tide in Iowa that you would be able to get waves. Again, yeah, it's a landlocked state. I mean, I almost said steak again. Fuck.
Someone's hungry.
Yeah. I think no, I didn't eat dinner yet. Whatever.
I haven't either.
But yeah, I mean, in Wisconsin, you have Lake Michigan that you could surf on because it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
But like, I can't think of any I mean, even like look at Lake Winnebago. Lake Winnebago is huge, but there's definitely not surfable waves on Lake
Yeah, no,
Winnebago.
there's not. That's literally calm water for the most part, and then if
Yeah,
anything, it's just light turbulence. It's nothing
I don't
extreme.
know. Whatever. I was fucking just go back to your
You know,
corn husking and
I think
call
I
it a day.
figured. I think I figured it out. It's because, and isn't Nebraska the Cornhuskers?
Well, I'm sure there's corn in Iowa too. I don't. Yeah, it is.
but
It is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Yeah.
but yeah, so this is my thought about it. They got so drunk they thought they could surf, and because there wasn't waves, they just fucking flatlined and slipped into the water and hit their head, and that's why it's now illegal to
Yep.
surf there. Because guess what? You can't. There's no waves, but they were so drunk they tried anyways.
That's what. Yeah. That's got to be it. Fucking Iowa.
Iowans.
Iowan. Iowan.
All
All right, moving on to Kansas. This one's kind of just self-explanatory. No hunting from a motorboat. Many states have specific regulations for hunting and fishing, but a somewhat funny one in Kansas is that it's illegal to hunt any game animal or fur-bearing animal from a motorboat, airplane, or motor vehicle.
I'm just trying to picture the motherfucker who wanted to go hunting out of an airplane. Like,
Can you hold it steady, sir? We're going like 300 miles per hour.
I can almost see it, sir. We're gonna hit the buildings. Like, what are you doing up there, man? Like, no. Even better yet, bow hunting from an airplane.
Yeah, what the fuck? About a bows. Did you hit it? Fuck no.
Oh man, that's wild.
All right. Yeah, that one's just kind of like I guess.
Another self-explanatory one. Like,
yeah, just don't try it.
I mean, in Wisconsin, I know a lot of people would just pull up in their cars and just like roll down the window, and just and then just throw them in the back of their vehicle.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing, especially up like in the fucking like gravel like road fire lanes up in northern Wisconsin. Guarantee that during hunting season and on like public land, guy sees a deer out in the fucking woods, he quick pulls over, puts a barrel of his gun on the fucking bed of his truck and lays that bitch down and, honey, I got dinner.
We're eating meat tonight.
What is it? I got possum.
I got a 2-for-1. I ended up killing a possum and a deer. I hit the possum with my car while I was shooting the deer. You were driving. Well, I was also drunk, so I didn't
drive by, shoot a deer.
I was drunk. I didn't think about it.
Fuck. All right, moving on to good old state of Kentucky.
Oh boy,
dying.
Pretty though.
Yeah, I just went through Kentucky a couple months ago when we went down to Florida, and every time I go through it, I always forget that I just picture it as just this flat ass Midwest state, but it's it's a nice area.
Areas in it.
Yeah. Anyway, in Kentucky, dyeing your ducklings. In the bluegrass state, it is illegal to dye your bird or rabbit blue, green, or any color unless you are selling them in quantities of 6 or more. If you're caught, you can end up paying a $500 fine. According to Kentucky's penal code, it is considered animal cruelty to sell or exchange, display, or possess living baby chicks, ducklings, or other fowl or rabbits which have been dyed or colored.
But yet you can do it over 6 or more.
Yeah, as long as
you're a bulk store, it's fine. Like,
yeah.
As long as you're only abusing multiple animals instead of just like 3. As long as you're abusing mass amounts of animals, it's okay.
I'm just picturing like a DNR guy rolling up to a farm, and he's like, "Oh, I see some ducks over there, but I'm only counting 5 of them. You got another one around? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to take you downtown."
I did. I just ate them. Oh. It's like red dye all around your mouth.
Yeah, I've been shitting blue for weeks, man.
Yeah. Don't worry, there's about to be a couple more, and I got the blue paint ready. I just dip them in it, hold them in there for like 5 seconds, pull them out.
You think, too, is why, first of all, why would you dye a chicken? Because it's going to grow up, and you're going to, that dye is probably going to soak into its skin, and if you end up killing it and then, like, eating it, I'm sure that, I mean, dye isn't going to kill you.
No.
But who wants to eat a fucking pink chicken or like?
Well, I'm wondering if it has something to do with the longs line. Like, this is gonna sound like weird, but like maybe competitions or contests or something along that line, or maybe it's actually a farmer thing. Maybe it's like you go to market, it's to identify what is yours if it gets loose. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, different grades. Like a grade A is this color, grade B is this color. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
Which,
know.
like a little bracelet on it could do just as good a job, but I guess fucking people in Kentucky just like to dip their animals in paint.
Yeah. All right. I
Get
don't
in
know.
there, little buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh fuck. All right. We're moving on to Louisiana.
Ooh, good. Good old Louisiana.
Louisiana, it just is vampirism.
Dracula's
um,
not allowed here,
uh,
goddammit. Especially
uh,
during Mardi Gras.
even before it was the setting of a popular vampire TV show, True Blood, the state of Louisiana had a law in the books banning ingestion of human or animal blood as part of a ritualistic act. If you're in a movie and TV buff, know there are plenty of famous filming locations around Louisiana.
Hmm.
I mean, fuck, just don't drink human blood no matter where you are.
Right? Well,
Or animal
okay.
blood.
There was a serial killer who used to like drink people's blood, but I don't think he was from Louisiana. Um, Let me look it up. Vampire serial killer. Vampire series. I don't want to look at True Blood. Okay, Richard Chase, American serial killer. Where was he located? Oh, he was in Cali. Yeah, so he was safe. There was no nukes there. They couldn't stop him. That's why he went on such a
Yeah.
That's why he went on such a rampage because they didn't have any nukes to stop him because he's a vampire.
Like, sir, he lives out in the middle of the desert. Let's just nuke his house. It's like we can't.
Well, I wonder. I feel like it's maybe like a lot of like voodoo culture potentially could be there. It'd be my best guess. Is there might be like kind of culture in Louisiana or that kind of like when I just kind of think about like the stereotypes that have kind of stood out to me about like Cajun culture and like just kind of the blending culture they have there. I feel like maybe there's been like practitioners of like Wiccan magic, stuff like that, and like these dark concepts, and they were using blood and they were drinking blood, and they're like, hey, knock it off. That's gonna throw off your iron like levels.
Yeah, that's what they're worried about. It's like, oh, that dude's gonna have an iron deficiency or something.
It's okay. I'm anemic. I need this.
Fuck. Oh, I was just thinking too with California, how they're not allowed to have nukes. Maybe it makes sense because of the fact that they share a border with Nevada, with like Area 51, and how that supposedly they have nukes there, and like I don't know, like
well, so I was
advanced
thinking.
technology.
Well, it's funny because I think about that, and that's on a state level. But there's definitely military bases in Cali. I don't know if there's any. You think if we do have any nuke silos, like if there's any active nukes, that they would be on the coast because if we want to nuke someone else, it's easier to launch a nuke from the coast.
Yeah.
So maybe like it's I don't know, but yes, no going into Area 51 and probing aliens. I know we want to get revenge on them, and no taking nukes.
It's all coming full circle.
Yep. Fallout is real. It's going to happen.
All right, moving on to the state of Maine. No roller skating stunts. In Bidford, Maine, people are dissuaded from trying out any fun, adventurous stunts. It is illegal to ride a skateboard, roller skates, or inline rollerblades while attached to any vehicle in a public place. The punishment is up to a $50 fine for first offense and up to a $100 fine for second. So basically, a slap on the wrist.
And it said attached to a vehicle, right? That's like the only specification, or is it in general? So, like, if I was in the roller arena and I was getting down with my bad self, that disco boogie woogie music comes on, and I just start hitting them sweet spin moves, am I going to get tackled by, like, security guards and then get slapped with a fine? Or is it only if I'm attached to a vehicle?
It does say, attached to a vehicle, so...
So that makes me, because that's almost illegal everywhere. Like, I did it in the Dells, but if a cop saw me, they'd definitely be like, what are you, fucking stupid? I'd be like, well, I'm a, high schooler, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that one's just kind of, I mean, at your own risk, I guess, be dumb or don't be dumb. All right, moving on to Maryland. Watch your mouth. There are plenty of antiquated laws on the books of the state of Maryland, but it's in the city of Rockville, in particular, has a few in place to keep things rated PG for its citizens. It is a misdemeanor to profanely curse and swear or use obscene language upon or near any street, sidewalk, or highway. So watch out if you're driving through Rockville with a serious case of road rage. Maybe try using some fun slang instead.
Sir, I don't appreciate the way you're driving right now.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
Yeah,
motherfucker!
what the fuck?
Cocksucking motherfucking dick. Just get fucking tackled.
I'm picturing this like this city is just like a bunch of old, like mild mannered, like old people, like
I feel like
a bunch of old
everyone there
people.
I feel like everyone there wears a sweater vest and has a receding hairline.
Yeah.
And not to insult anyone out there who has a vulgar mouth and a receding hairline and a sweater vest, but you're an interesting combo if you do. But they all just walk around holding their even the babies have like they're born with like little Bibles in their hands and like they have sweater vests and receding hairlines already.
I feel like it's a town that like every business is closed by like 8:00, and if you're found outside like past a certain time, it's like, what are you doing? You up to trouble?
People look at their watches like, oh, gee, Willikers, it's 8:30. It's past my bedtime. You're 38, dude. I know. Mother needs me home. Like,
you still live with your mom? No, she calls me to make sure I am home.
Oh yeah, she checks in because I can be kind of a wild card. Oh man! One time I littered. I'm now the most threatening person in that town.
Shit! All right, moving on. This it sounds interesting. In Massachusetts, no explosive golf balls. Thinking of hitting up a beautiful golf course? Better watch what you're playing with if you're in Massachusetts. It's illegal in the state to make, sell, or own an explosive golf ball.
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing this scene in my head right now. Guys, you just hear 4 from behind you, and you're like, oh, ball's coming in. Also, it just fucking blows your ass up. Your golf cart's like 10 feet away, and it just blows your golf cart up. You're laying on the ground, fucking heavy breathing, like...
Yeah. You just hear 4, and all of a sudden... you just
lay on the ground, like, looking back, like, why? And he's like... I yelled 4. This is your fault.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck?
I just want to know what insane asshole brought explosive golf balls to. Like, I hope it was a driving range because hopefully that's a little bit like at least no one's dying out there except for maybe the ball boy if he's not supposed to be out there and he's out there for some reason. But like, just on a driving range, you just like, that went pretty far. All of a sudden, the whole back gate just explodes, and you're like, what did you just shoot? Like, what did you hit, bro? Tannanite? Like, C4? I don't know. Oh, man, that's...
Oh, it's the kind of like finishing up what it says on here.
Oh,
I didn't realize.
Interrupt you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go. Oh, go. What were you gonna say?
Superhero idea. It's a guy who uses exploding golf balls.
Yeah, it's instead of like grenades, it's just like villains like, is that a golf ball? And he like he walks around with like the golf club, and then people think it's like oh, he's gonna beat the shit out of people with the golf club. He's like, no, he just like chips a ball at you.
He like literally just subdues you, ties you up, and he just puts like a golf ball on his tee. He's like very careful about it. And he's like, doo, 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 doo. And he just like slaps it at you, and your just head explodes. Actually, he's the villain. He's got to be the villain for sure because exploding golf balls. No hero's gonna be. I mean, maybe it depends on what. If he's like the Punisher, but with golf. Taking vigilante or villains down at one at a time. All right, continue.
But anyway, it says that golf balls used to be made with liquid centers that were often caustic and could result in an explosion if the balls were cut open. So manufacturers have since switched to solid core golf balls, but the law still bans the former dangerous design.
That's awesome.
Why would you put a liquid center golf ball? That makes no sense.
Can we bring those back though? Like, please? Oh, that'd make golf a lot more interesting, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Like, I wonder what kind of liquid they put in it. Like, obviously it has... I wonder if that's how they, like... Maybe they used to be buoyant, so that if you hit a golf ball in the water, it'd keep it buoyant or something. I don't know. Whatever. don't go golfing in Massachusetts, I guess.
Yeah. Or if you do, make sure you have your IED equipment, your explosive vest, all that stuff. Make
Yeah,
sure you see in Hurt Locker that outfit. You got to golf wearing that.
yeah, exactly. All right, moving on to Michigan. Adultery is punishable by jail time. Turns out a toxic relationship in some places is legal. One of the most severe laws still in effect is in the state of Michigan, where it is a felony to cheat on your spouse. However, prosecutions for adultery are rare. The spouse who is being victimized by the adultery must file a criminal complaint within a year of the offense.
How are you gonna prove? Like, okay, so if there was like no proof, like 11 months later, if they didn't get pregnant or anything, like, how are you gonna like find your evidence? Like, if you choose to file it 11 months later, and for one, it's like, yeah, adultery sucks. It's awful. No one should ever like do that to someone else. But the thing is, it's like as unethical as it is, I wouldn't say it's anything that warrants jail time at
Yeah.
all. Like you're putting someone in jail with somebody who could have literally just beat the shit out of their wife or something. You know what I mean? And now you're just this person's just sitting there because they were unfaithful because they're an idiot. They don't know how to break up with people or end relationships. It's definitely a shitty thing to do.
Yeah,
but.
I feel like the emotional toll, the lawsuits, the splitting of assets. I feel like that's enough of a punishment in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly. Like to face jail time too. Like you already chose to fuck your life up by cheating. Now your life is double fucked.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on to the next one. It's so I don't understand like the wording of this. In Minnesota, drunkenness is not a crime. Minneapolis is known for its beer culture, and Minnesotans can abide without fear of being arrested for public intoxication, which is a crime in many other states. According to Minnesota state statute, no person may be charged with or convicted of the offense of drunkenness or public drunkenness. However, drunkenness is not a defense if you commit other crimes or offenses while intoxicated. so you can't be like, you can't just like piss like public urination, be like, oh, I was drunk, and that like trumps it out.
Yeah, you said they're like punching someone in the face or like robbing somebody. You're like, sorry, officer, I'm drunk. Yeah. It's like no, but we should go there now. We're closer. We should just go get as drunk as we can. But like not make sure like we're being watched or we're not doing anything illegal. Just be as drunk as we can and just walk down the street.
Yeah.
Just be annoying.
Well, but that's the thing though, because that's such a like drunk being like that's such a specific thing. Like being drunk, you can't be convicted of that. But I'm sure if like public indecency, public urination, maybe if you're screaming and being obnoxious, like those are things that you could get in trouble for. But literally just
being drunk, yeah, you don't get in trouble for that.
That's surprising. That I wonder if Wisconsin is in the same boat of not.
So what I do know about it is, so if you are like drunk to a point, I'm pretty sure it's like where you seem like, but it all kind of ties back into that, like the screaming concept, or you just seem like for example, if you're like passed out somewhere drunk on the sidewalk, they can bring you in, I'm pretty sure, and throw you in a drunk tank.
Yeah.
But so it sounds like you can just pass out drunk on the streets there, and if you wake up, I mean, but like that could be a whole different kind of charge though, because that could be considered like, depending on where you pass out, like loitering or being on private property or obstruction. Like there's so many different alternate charges that it's almost pointless. It's a moot point to make that a law.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like the drunkenness itself isn't the issue. It's whatever you do while you're drunk that gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. What the fuck? All right, Mississippi, you got some explaining to do. In Mississippi, no more than one child out of wedlock. There are plenty of archaic laws that's still in the books when it comes to marriage and children. According to Mississippi state law, if you have more than one child out of wedlock, you'll be charged with a misdemeanor and could face a month in jail time or a fine of up to $250.
So everybody gets one. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I know. It's like they're basically saying it's like, oh, you have one, that's okay, but it's like, oh, if you do it more than once, it's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. First time, shame on you. Second time, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
That's weird, but
Yeah, I don't get that one.
I'm thinking the person who like generated that law probably had a kid out of wedlock. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta find some way to like make this justified. I'm gonna make a
Yeah,
law saying it's okay, and I'm gonna tell my wife I didn't mean to. See, it's in the laws anyways. It's in the law.
yeah. I only
can
have
do it.
I only had one. I only had one
Yep,
kid.
yep.
You can't be that mad at me.
They can't be mad. It's legal. Oh man.
All right, moving on to
Also,
Missouri. Or
also
what are you gonna say?
I was wondering, maybe we can do the rest of the states. Not like we can do most of them, but like maybe because I do have to be somewhere like around 5:50, 6 o'clock, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, we can kind of stop there. We're at the M's, which is probably about halfway, honestly. We're about an
Okay.
hour in anyway, so this would be like a 2-hour episode if we went through all of them. So, yeah, we can kind of. I'll make a note that we're stopping at Missouri, and then,
And then we can just continue this one, and then we can get some feedback from if anyone wants to comment on this video when you see it. If you see it before we post the follow-up of part 2, just let us know if there's any other interesting laws you want us to call out, or if you know any interesting laws in your home state that you are like, no, this is the one you should be talking about. We'll give it a mention, we'll give it a shout-out, and we'll have our fun with talking about it.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, if you either one that we talked about, if you want to elaborate on it, if you've personally dealt with it, or if you're like, no, that one's stupid. You can't have more than one pet giraffe in one place at any given time. Like that sounds more interesting to me. Um,
Uh,
yeah.
Oh, shit. Time to get rid of some giraffes.
All right. So, yeah. So that's going to kind of wrap things up for this episode. We'll definitely be doing a part 2 in the future, whether it's next week or maybe a few weeks down the road, whatever that looks like. Yeah, we'll just kind of go from there.
Yep.
If you guys enjoy the if you guys I was just say if you guys are enjoying the new content, we're trying to get away from gaming a little bit more often. We kind of just exploring wacky topics. On Wednesday, we just literally sat and talked for an hour and a half about previous stories, either with each other, or just from our past. If there's any non-gaming topics that you want us to dive into, definitely comment, and we'll, so long as it's gives us more. If we could talk about it for more than 10 minutes, we'll probably talk about it. So
that was it. And you just heard us literally just talk about laws. So
yeah,
feel free, if you have this potential thought in your head, you're like, oh, well, maybe they can talk about. Just tell us. We'll probably find a way to talk about it. And another thing too, just if you even catch like little mentions in our video or like a story we've talked about, if you want it to be elaborated on, or if you want us to expand on something we've talked about in the past, just let us know. We're more than happy to indulge. Because that's the thing. Like, it's not that we're running out of content ever. We have plenty of things to talk about. We have almost too much to talk about. It's like, it's nice to get feedback. It's nice to hear what other people want to hear so that we can be like, hey, we'll cater to some of you guys every once in a while, and we'll indulge that.
For sure. Always a fun time, man.
Oh, yeah. Always a good time, dude. And again, happy birthday. Enjoy your Marvel movie marathon with Mandy. Marvel movie marathon with Mandy. Marvel movie marathon with Mandy. Marvel. Okay, that was actually kind of. That's a
all right.
Marvel movie marathon with Mandy. Yeah, all right.
All right. Got a little tongue distraction going on. Oh,
yeah, the quadruple M. No, yeah, you have fun though. Try to make a baby as you keep going.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, peace out, brother.
All right, see ya.